Thanks so much for stopping in today to learn how to write a check. First thing is you will want to use a pen for your check writing rather than a pencil for safety reasons. Especially these gel pens are excellent because the ink sinks into the check a little bit and makes it more difficult for someone to do what you may have heard of, like check washing, where they try to erase what's on there and put something different on it. So once you have your pen, the first thing you'll want to do is enter today's date. And you can print it or write it in cursive. Next thing you'll do is to put in who you're paying the check to, and it can be a business or a person. In this example, I'm going to use a person, and I'm going to say that I'm writing it to Stacy Smith. Okay, and then the next item is where you put in the amount in numbers that you're paying the check for. In this case, I will put in $396.34. You can put a little line here to indicate the end or a straight line, either one. And on this line, extremely important, you've got to write out the number that you just put in. And so to do that, we will write here on the line $396. And when it comes to your cents, you do it by putting the amount of cents out of 100 right there like that. And you can also do a line with it as well to indicate that you're at the end. Oftentimes people use a memo to remind themselves of what they're writing a check for. So in this case, I would be writing a check for pet sitting. So I will put that in there. And then the final thing is you need to put your signature in to make the check viable, able for someone else to cash it. So put it in there, and then you've got your check properly filled out. A couple of things that you'll notice: if someone asks you what your check number is, that's the number right up here in the corner that you'll see. Sometimes merchants will do that to keep track of things. If someone wants to know what your routing number is, which is often used to send money by wire transfer, that type of thing, your routing number for your bank sits right here. And each banking institution has its own routing number. And then the other thing you'll have, and this one's a little different because this is a sample check. Usually your checking account number is a little longer than this, but this will be the area where you will find your checking account number for your particular checking account at your bank. Those two may be good things to know about, especially if you're setting up things like bill paying other ways. Oftentimes you may need to know what your routing number and your check number are, or if you're paying online. But that kind of tells you what you've got there. And those are the main parts of writing a check. Obviously up here on the check would have been the person's information and phone number, yours. So when you first get your checks, you'll want to make sure that is correct, that everything on there is okay. Sometimes you'll be asked to do things like write your driver's license number on a check, and you can do that right below your address information. Or you may be asked to include a phone number if that's not already on your check. Should you need to deposit a check from somebody else, generally you'll have them make that check out to you, and then on the back side there will be a spot to endorse the check, and you endorse it the way that the person wrote your name out when they made the check out, and that will allow you then to cash that check or deposit it into your bank account. So those are the easy steps for writing checks. A few other things that you might want to know about are that you can order checks in different styles with patterns, football teams, all sorts of things on them. People do still use checks these days. I know a lot of people are all online, but a lot of times government entities will send you checks. You may want to write a check out. For example, if you're paying taxes, it's a great way to have a record of that. And it's just a good thing overall to be able to know how to do that. And I hope this helps you today, and be on the lookout for more practical life tips coming your way.